Hey there. So here we go. We're going to learn a little bit about automation right now. So automation is when you take a parameter, and basically all of these buttons and knobs and sliders, these are all parameters that you can automate. And so if I, let's just listen to this for a second. So here's my project. Okay, so this is, it's all just kind of plain. What if I wanted it to get louder or softer over time? So what you can do is you can automate a parameter, and there are a couple ways to do this. But let's just start with the volume of the of this loop here, of this organ loop. So if I zoom in on my mixer board here, you can see the organ is this channel strip right here. You can also actually see that the organ is going from here into channel 2. So if I move this up and down while it's playing, it'll change the volume. Here we go. Let's listen. So there are a couple ways you can automate things in Audio Tool. The easiest thing to do is to right-click on whatever you want to automate, and then select Automate Parameter. And what that's going to do is that's going to make an automation track. See what I just made right here is this organ output level track. So now if I double click in a measure, and actually I can decide to automate as much of it as I want. I can automate a whole bunch or just a little bit. All right, it'll show me the volume level. You can see the volume level right now there is a straight line. So if I double click on this, now I can adjust this. So if I wanted to do, let's say, a fade in, I could double click on this line, bring it down here. Okay, I'm actually going to change my view to just the tracks right now, so I have a better view. If I wanted to bring it down to 0 and just kind of have it. All right. So you can kind of grab this anywhere you want and then pull that around. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at 0 and I'm just going to fade in. All right, up to level 0. And actually, let's bring it to the level we were at before, which is kind of popping into. That's the starter level. Okay, here we go. So let's listen to that now. I'm going to go back to. Actually, let's just play. Did you hear the volume went up? Now watch, if I go back to looking at this, you can actually see the slider move as you play the track. That's one way you can automate things. You can also automate, like a filter. So let's just listen here. Each of these drum tracks, so I'm going to automate the filter on. Actually, let's just center in here. So you can see I have the hi-hat, the snare, and the kick drum here. So what if I took this snare drum? Let's just loop this right now so you can hear a little bit of what the drum sounds like. I'm just going to solo the drums here. And let's just listen to a little bit of the drums. Okay, this is a little bit plain. So I can actually change the volume of each thing by clicking on it and dragging it up and down. All right. So maybe I want to make a little bit of a shape there. And then here I can do a little crescendo. So another thing I can do is I can change the filter. So listen to this. Actually, I want to change on the snare drum. Notice that this is actually changing the filter for the hi-hat. Let's change the filter for the snare drum. It's actually already set to low pass. So let's listen to what happens if I change the cutoff. See how it takes that high end off of it? So what I can do is I could automate that parameter, and I could actually give it a little bit of a shape there with the cutoff. So I'm going to automate this, right click on it, automate parameter, And I'm going to go right in my drum here, right in my one measure, just at the very end on that fourth beat. I am going to have the cutoff. Actually, the cutoff should be here all the time, which is the highest level. That means it's basically off. It's letting everything through. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like maybe about that much of a shape. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, so there's a lot you can do with automating parameters. There's actually also a way you can record. So you can actually change a parameter as you play. I'll show you how to do that in a different video.